The first time I met Alia, she stood on the edge of the Starlight Lake, bathed in silver moons, her eyes full of quiet sorrow. I'd heard the stories everyone on Earth had. The alien princess from the royal line of Zerakai, whose blood carried the power of their ancient sun, but whose womb was said to be forever barren. I didn't care. She didn't speak when I approached. Not at first. She only turned to look at me, her gaze curious but distant. Her skin shimmered faintly like crushed opal, and her long white hair danced in the soft breeze. I should have felt small beside her, unworthy, but she smiled. "You're human," she said softly. "You're not," I replied. That made her laugh. We kept meeting after that, always at the lake, always at night. She told me about her world, the palace of glass and crystal, the crown she never wanted, the expectation she could never fulfill. On Zerakai, royal daughters were expected to bear heirs, but her body had defied prophecy, medicine, even ancient rites. So she left. The king was furious. The council declared her exiled until she could be whole. Her people whispered that the light had left her, but Alia didn't care anymore. She came to Earth not to be healed, but to be forgotten. And yet, there she was, glowing like a fallen star, still hoping someone would see her. I saw her. Over time, our meetings became something more. I'd bring her old Earth books, and she'd trace the pages with wonder. She'd show me strange dances of her people, and I'd cook her whatever I could find, grilled cheese, soup in tin cans, one time even pancakes. She said the syrup was divine. We laughed a lot. We also sat in silence a lot. Comfortable, quiet moments where nothing needed to be said. I'd never felt that with anyone before. One night, under the twin moons, I kissed her. She kissed me back. I asked her to marry me 3 weeks later. She blinked in surprise, then touched her heart the way her people did when something moved them. "You know what I cannot give," she said. "I don't need a child," I said. "I just need you." She cried, and for the first time, I saw her cry not from sadness, but from hope. We married by Earth customs, a simple union in the meadow near the lake, attended only by a few friends who didn't blink at the idea of a human marrying an alien royalty. And just like that, she became my wife. Alia, the alien king's daughter. We settled in a small home by the cliffs. She planted glowing starflowers in the garden. I built her a reading nook in the corner of the living room. We painted the walls together, badly, and ended up smearing paint on each other more than anything else. It wasn't perfect. She had nightmares sometimes, memories of her father's cold eyes, the sting of her exile, the way her people whispered broken when she passed. But every time I held her, and every time she looked at me like I was something sacred. And then one morning she collapsed. I panicked, rushed her to the emergency ward, hard in my throat. She was disoriented, feverish, mumbling in Zerakian. The medics ran tests, scans. Monitors flickered with readings no one could make sense of. Her body was alien, her biology a mystery. They stabilized her, barely, and then finally, a young xenobiologist walked in, eyes wide, voice shaking. "She's pregnant." Silence. I stared at him. "What?" "She's carrying a child. A hybrid. Yours." That couldn't be right. It shouldn't be right. Her people had tried everything, technology far beyond ours, and declared her incapable of conception. Yet here she was, carrying our child. When I told her, she wept. Her hands trembled as she reached for me, and she said one word over and over, "miracle." But it wasn't just a miracle. It was a storm. News spread. The royal court of Zerakai, upon hearing of her condition, immediately demanded her return, not out of joy but desperation. The possibility of an heir, even a half-human one, was enough to shake the throne. We refused. They sent emissaries. They offered riches, promises, even apologies. We still refused. Then they threatened war. They came one evening. Silver ships part in the skies, hovering like silent ghosts above the cliffs. Soldiers in crystal armor stepped out, led by none other than King Thaler himself. Aelia stood at the door as I held her hand tightly. Her belly was beginning to swell. "My daughter," Thaler said, his voice like cold metal, "you have done the impossible." "I found love," she said. "That's what made it possible." His eyes flicked to me with something between disdain and curiosity. "The child is ours," he said, "a symbol of hope for Zurakai. Come home." "I am home." "You belong to your people. I belong to myself." The standoff lasted hours. The king offered one final deal. Sanctuary for us both, honor restored, the child raised in royalty. Aelia looked at me. I didn't speak. I didn't have to. Her fingers tightened around mine. "No," she said. Then she stepped forward and touched her father's chest, just as he had done to her once, long ago. "You taught me to fight for what I believe in," she said. "This is what I believe in." The king left without a word, and strangely that was the end of it. No war, no abduction, no retaliation, just silence, until weeks later, a ship returned, not filled with soldiers, but healers and scholars. They requested permission to study her condition, to learn how it had happened, not to control her, but to understand. Aelia allowed them. They couldn't find a scientific explanation. Her biology hadn't changed. No miracle drug, no sudden activation of dormant genes. Only one variable had changed in her life. Me, one scholar, old and wrinkled, wept as he examined her scans. "The light returned to her," he whispered, "not from within, but from being loved." Our daughter was born on a quiet spring morning. She had my eyes and her mother's skin that shimmered faintly in sunlight. When Aelia held her, it was like watching the universe fold into itself, a moment so perfect it defied time. We named her Ceres. It means second dawn in Zurakian. The royal court formally lifted Aelia's exile. Her father sent a message, simple but heavy with meaning. "Your light has become our future." We didn't return to Zurakai. Not then. Maybe someday. For now, we stayed by the cliffs, raising Ceres with starlight and earth music, teaching her both languages, both histories, both kinds of love. Every night, Aelia would sing her ancient lullabies, while I told stories of our world. Sometimes we'd dance under the moonlight, holding Ceres between us, spinning slowly as stars wheeled overhead. The alien king's daughter could not have children until she fell in love with a human. And everything changed, not because of science, not because of prophecy, but because love, real love, doesn't obey rules. It breaks them and builds something better in their place.